bands. On some shoes I refuse, I will never spend a band. That's my view from my pew, guess I'll never be the man. Oh well. Look, I'm a country boy and I don't rock Prada. All these designer brands and I ain't got nada. They selling little kids and got a lot of commas. But let's be honest, everybody...
It's a kink.
I think it's pretty disgusting, to be honest. They're a brand with a big platform and they have a really big following.
Some people point to drag shows as an example of sexualizing kids. Do you think that is an example or no?
I don't think drag shows would be an example.
You know, honestly, I have a pair of Balenciagas and I probably won't be wearing them anymore just because of that underlying stuff they got going.
Let me bring that up. All right, this is Tyson James with another one. Let's check this one out together.
Balenciaga rolled out a new ad campaign on Instagram, and the selling point of the ads was sex with children. One photograph showed a very young girl lying face down on a couch with candles, empty wine glasses, and a dog collar on a coffee table in front of her. Another picture showed the same girl, a toddler, holding a teddy bear dressed in sexual bondage gear.
Yeah, it's like every single day I wake up, it gets worse. Seeing kids sexualized makes me want to curse. They hold leather-bound teddy bears and what's in the purse? Y'all some demons and it seems it's baby blood that you thirst. Everyone complicit. You on the road to hell, you got a one-way ticket. Make yourself at home cause it ain't just a visit. You burning with the rest, so get in line and get a digit while they heating up the skillet. There's a special place in hell for these reprobates. I'ma tell it how it is and I will never hesitate. Wish I could be a modern day Joshua and decimate. Kill them where they stand in their blood, watch them marinate. Look, I'm a country boy and I don't care about these brands. Give me jeans and a denim and some $50 Vans. On some shoes I refuse, I will never spend a band. That's my view from my pew, guess I'll never be the man. Oh well. Look, I'm a country boy and I don't rock Prada. All these designer brands and I ain't got nada. They selling little kids and got a lot of commas. But let's be honest, everybody Balenciaga. Hey, everybody Balenciaga. Hollywood ain't saying nothing, y'all Balenciaga. Say one thing about LGB, you'll be done, done. But not the kids, everybody Balenciaga. Yeah, look, everybody Balenciaga.
Hey, by the way, guys, quickly, so you know, we plan on... I'm sorry. We plan on... Let me mute this. We plan on going on Rumble in a few minutes. So we just want to bring you into this thing. And a link to the Rumble channel, I'm going to post it in the chat. You need to go on Rumble. Once we move over there, this is where we're going to talk about the spicy stuff, okay? So we're just setting the stage here. We're not staying here. This is a stop sign, okay? That's not the destination, okay? So we're going to move over there. So brace yourself for that. So bring your friends because we got something serious to talk about tonight. All right, let's continue.
They just mad they got caught, screw Balenciaga. They need innocent blood, just look at Lady Gaga. It's Illuminati, she move her body like Satan's daughter. It's front and center, can you see now? Everybody bringing offerings and worshiping the cow. They ready for the Antichrist, watch all the knees bow. Don't speak out about it or you ain't getting that dream house. They sell their soul for $1. Once you hand it over, you ain't coming to the Father. There's a line and you cross it when you messing with the toddler. You can meet my revolver, send you to a place that is hotter. This the battle that we fighting, you know I'm in it till I die. But they gon' call this hate speech, you know that I'm vilified. I'ma fight the pedophiles while I'm still alive. I will arise and I'm coming to kill the vibe. Y'all gon' pay. Look, I'm a country boy and I don't rock Prada. All these designer brands and I ain't got nada. They selling little kids and got a lot of commas. But let's be honest, everybody Balenciaga. Hey, everybody Balenciaga. Hollywood ain't saying nothing, y'all Balenciaga. Say one thing about LGB, you'll be done, done. But not the kids, everybody Balenciaga.
There are politicians running this world right now that one day they'll step down from the kings and the queens and the presidents and the parliamentarians and they'll go to hell one day. Hell is full of kings.
He said it like it is.
Facts.
The Balenciaga situation is repulsive. I don't think, I mean, I got really upset the last video I tried to make about it. I'm like, I don't even know why we even have to go online and speak against this.
Like, I don't know why this is even a thing. Like, why did they have to even go there?
Yeah.
What was the point of it? Why couldn't they just use regular models?
If this wasn't intentional, it's like, why did you put the court paper there? Like, this was really stationed and intentional. Like,
Yeah.
again, for those of you who have any idea with video production and cameras and so on, like, we don't take pictures by chance. Like, I might take a photo and I don't worry about my background. A photographer and the people who set this stage, they know exactly what they're doing. They're not doing this because, oh, this was an accident. No.
No. No. So you don't put a court document like that in there by accident.
That's
like,
just very much intentional. Evil.
Yeah. Like anybody who's a first day streamer, you just make sure your background's clear. You don't have anything that you don't want shown. All that stuff. You make sure everything's the way you want it, set up just the way you want it. Like, this whole thing is just ridiculous.
That's right. It's true.
Good evening, Megan.
Hey, for those of you who are watching us on Rumble, we just want to thank you for joining us. There are 2 people watching currently. And by the way, guys, we're going to put a link to the Rumble channel. I'm going to copy it, paste. I'm going to put it on my YouTube link. To the
I did
channel.
put a post in the Discord.
Oh, great.
Earlier.
There we go. So there is a link. Join us on Rumble. Because on Rumble, we're going to talk about the spicy stuff. And by the way, Megan, if you want to join the live stream, you're more than welcome to do that because I know you wanted to. So I can send you a link. Mr. Darth Vader, you can, if she wants to join the stream, send her a link personally on the Discord, please. We don't want to have it sent. If you don't have that, I can send it to her.
I can't send a link.
Oh yeah, you can't.
I don't have the permission. But yes, it does go deeper than bears and kids. It's a lot of, like Megan's saying, it's a lot of subliminal messages for years, and it's only now that people are noticing when they bring kids into the picture that people are actually starting to make a fuss.
Yeah. Guys, we're going on Rumble in 10 minutes. As a matter of fact, in 5 minutes. At 8:50, we're moving over there. So in the meantime, can we switch and take a look at a really excellent video, I will say, because what they end up doing, they parallel.
Yeah, it's fucked up, and they should.
They parallel the Balenciaga situation with what's happening with drag queen and children. And it's good to listen to the response of people because I'm like, oh yeah, that's a good way to parallel that. Look at this. All right, let's get into the heart of this one.
Yeah, it's fucked up, and they should probably not be a company that receives money from anyone.
Some people have mentioned like drag shows or another instance, and that's different. Can you explain it to me? Why is this okay, but this isn't? We're in Washington, D.C. to ask people why sexualized dolls are not okay, but drag shows are. Let's go find out. What are your thoughts on the ads?
It's horrible. I think it's horrible. I think it's inappropriate. It's bad on Balenciaga to put that out publicly. They should have not done that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. It's just not appropriate for little kids.
People point to other examples that they say are sexualizing kids. People say like, oh, drag shows, that's sexualizing kids.
That's very different, because drag shows are for adults, and I put little kids in that.
What if I told you there have been drag shows for little kids?
I don't know, man.
Is that not acceptable?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't think that's okay. Like, I support drag shows, but not for little kids.
The building has fallen.
How do you hesitate on that?
The bottom has fallen. Yeah, so how do you make sense of, you have an issue with a picture with children in it, which I totally agree with you. But you have drag queen dancing in front of little children who performs for adult. And you compromise your conviction right there. He's got you.
Yeah.
He's got you. It's okay. Just surrender. Just say, okay, you got me. You got me. I didn't see it from that way. It's okay.
Yeah. And like Tyson said, Megan, it's in Hollywood, fashion schools, everywhere.
Yeah. It's disturbing. Again, just like you said, I don't even know why we're talking about something like this. Like, it's like, shouldn't we on board with children shouldn't be indoctrinated in these ways, period. But somebody's gonna make sense though. Somebody said something here, you're gonna listen, it's gonna make sense. He's gonna say something about family and parents' choice, which I'm like, okay, I can work with that. All right, let's take a listen.
Girls holding a BDSM doll. What do you guys think about that?
It's interesting. I feel like the themes are a little inappropriate there with like the kid holding sexual stuff.
Other people are saying they think children shouldn't be brought to drag shows and stuff. Do you agree with that?
I don't think so. I don't think there's anything about drag that's inherently sexual in the same way BDSM is. I think sexuality and sexual kind of get mixed together a lot, but sexuality is an identity and BDSM is, you know, what's the best way to put it?
Yeah. Is it confusing or what?
Yeah, that's really confusing because, I mean, it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah, which one is it?
It's 2 ducks in the same row.
Yeah, yeah. You can't do that. If for us to say BDSM is sexualizing children and drag queens are not actually doing that, it's like, excuse me, one is a picture, the other one are events taking place where kids are presently being engaged in that. So you mad
and flaunting it in their face.
Yeah, you mad as a kid modeling sexually, which I agree with, but you're not mad as a kid sitting there being entertained and being sexualized at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's crazy that the gymnastic is doing it. The what do you call that? The mind
mental gymnastics.
The mental gymnastics is happening here. It's like
he's
giving you new definition to things. Why? You don't have to do that. You know what the truth is. Just say, okay, I'll surrender. You got me.
Put it. Yeah, it's a kink.
I think it's pretty disgusting, to be honest. They're a brand with a big platform and they have a really big following.
Some people point to drag shows as an example of sexualizing kids. Do you think that is an example or no?
I don't think drag shows would be an example.
You know, honestly, I have a pair of Balenciagas and I probably won't be wearing them anymore just because of that underlying stuff they got going on. I just don't think that's right or cool. I definitely won't be supporting the brand anymore.
A lot of people are arguing that this isn't the first time children have been used in that way. They point to things such as drag shows for children. Do you think that's a similar thing or is that different?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like for that type of stuff, the parents are heavily involved with that stuff, so it comes down to what the parents think. Obviously, like, I wouldn't enter my kid in one of those just because of my own personal moral beliefs.
Regarding the drag show thing, I think there's some drag shows that can be sexual, but that's definitely not what all of them are. Like, there's drag shows that are kid friendly, so if people are trying to denounce all drag shows as like a sexual thing, that's not right.
What's your guys' interpretation of like a friendly drag show, you know?
Just like anecdotally, like a drag brunch. It's just like a normal brunch, but there's a bit more of like a kind of community like socialization aspect to it, a little bit more like fun, kind of comedy, people going around talking to each other, you talk to the other tables, in the same way that like taking your kid to a movie isn't bad, but taking your kid to a movie with sex in it is bad. I think drag shows are the same way.
You're not going to say all movies are bad just because one movie is like X-rated, right?
We're asking about the Balenciaga controversy.
Yeah, it's fucked up and they should probably not be a company that receives money from anyone.
Some people have mentioned like drag shows are another instance, and that's different. Can you explain to me?
I'm sorry, Darth Vader. Go ahead.
So, if anybody's actually been to one of these, they would know that this is not just a family-friendly brunch thing. The whole point of a drag show is to be sexualized.
Absolutely.
That's the whole point.
You remember the analogy that I was giving about, there's a statement that goes in the Bible. I think it's 2 Corinthians 3, verse 18. It says that we behold as in a glass the glory of the Lord, and all change in the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. And the idea is, by beholding, we become changed. In other words, these drag shows, despite the fact they want to be inclusive and so on, they're targeting children because by the children beholding that, they are forming a mindset that will eventually either make them a sympathizer or a practitioner themselves. This is psychology. This is psychology at its finest. So the best way to get people to conform to something that is different is just to put it in front of their face. You put it in front of their face long enough, their mind will change.
And not only that,
let me mute the video. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
And not only that, but you turn around and you look at the way these men dress,
Mhm.
okay, and yes, they are men. Let's make no mistake about it. They're grown ass men
Yep.
doing this. They dress provocatively on
Absolutely.
purpose
Yep.
to attract other men,
Absolutely.
and it's disgusting. It really is. It's thoroughly disgusting.
Absolutely.
And why we're exposing children to this
Mhm.
is beyond me. I have no idea. There's
Yeah.
no reason for it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely none.
You know, yeah, the world is underestimating Satan's ability to confuse the mind and change the perception. Like the world underestimate his power to do that, and the world also fail to understand the human intellect and how it works. There's like psychology. You can read any psychology books. They will tell you this. It's
Mhm.
just that the concept is as simple as this: the mind gradually adapts itself upon a subject that it is allowed to dwell. Like in other words, as a Christian, when I wake up in the morning, I have devotional and I have prayer. I'm not doing this just because I'm a Christian. Now I'm doing this because by doing it, my character is being formed. So when I read my Bible, I'm not reading it just to be cute. I'm reading it in the hope that the Word of God can transform my life. When I watch a movie, it's the same thing. When I hear music, it's the same thing. So the mind is consistently being shaped and molded by the surroundings. So in the same way, when a child is placed in an environment where drag queens are doing what they're doing, their minds is also being shaped. So they're being either seeing this as a positive thing or a negative thing. Their perception is changing. They are coming up with ideas. They are formulating new thoughts and new patterns and neurons. It's a very powerful tool. So the more they watch it, the more they're exposed to it, is the more sympathy they have for it. I've heard somebody said, Adolf Hitler, part of the reason why he was so successful is because of his speech, his ability to speak and enthusiasm and so on. But at first, when Adolf Hitler would speak, they would say, "Yo, this guy sounds like he's crazy."
A madman.
Yeah, he's like a
Yeah.
madman. But when they kept on hearing him long enough, and he kept on pushing the same ideas, even Hitler himself said, "You say a lie a number of times, people will start believing it," and it's true because he kept on talking the way he talked. Eventually, the perception was changed, and he was able to carry out the things he wanted to do. And that's the thing
21.
about
21. Remember, it takes 21 times for something to become a habit.
there we go.
You either do it 21 times, hear it 21 times, or see it 21 times, and
Yeah.
eventually it'll become a habit.
There you go. There you go. And that's exactly what these shows are about. It's not about books, children, and so on. They are going for the heart. You want to go for a nation or a culture or a people, just go for the children. It's a concept. You go for the children, you go for the generation that is to come. And those children will make children after their likeness. It's a very powerful ways to either uplift the nation or down and bring them down the drain. Just go for the kids. Once you get the kids, you get the entire world. You get the entire nation. Powerful tool. Very demonic at heart. It's just what it is. And people need to start calling it that and start sugarcoating the whole thing. All right, let's keep.
I think that as
Wait a minute. I want to hear her thoughts.
Controversy.
yeah, it's fucked up, and they should probably not be a company that receives money from anyone.
Some people have mentioned like drag shows or another instance, and that's different. Can you explain it to me?
I think that as long as the parents are informing their children and the children want to be there, I don't see anything wrong with that because.
So here's.
Did you get the hypocrisy?
So here's the thing.
Let's talk about that.
The parents informed the kids and signed off on them about being in this Balenciaga ad. What's the difference?
There we go. Spot on. So if you are okay with parents taking their children to drag queen and you don't think you should get involved in that, like it's none of my business, fine. But while you're sticking your nose in the lives of these parents who allow their children to be photographed and post for Balenciaga, simple as that. So that argument has no legs because it's like, what are you saying? You think those children were just picked on the side of the road or something and given money? No, these were parents who consented to this. These parents were paid big money. The thing is, the parents of Balenciaga are making money using their children for these images. Actually, I can understand. At least they're making money, and I'm not justifying the act. But the people who are taking their children to drag queen, they're doing it for free.
Yeah, they're not getting paid, and that's that's the mind-boggling part. Is like how did they justify this in their minds? I don't understand. Like, you can't justify one and not the other, or condemn one and not the other.
And that's the problem. If you want to justify anything, you're always going to find a reason to do it. The thing is, it comes back to one thing. It's a matter of morality, right and wrong, truth and error. And once that is really established, and I think the issue in our culture today, just like we've said it before, JPL, Jesse Lee Peterson said it all the time, the issue in our culture is immorality. The more you begin to blur the line between right and wrong, these things are going to happen. And I think I blame a lot of the functions. I blame a lot of things. I also blame the church, because the church is, I will always say this, the church is highly responsible for the morality of the world. When you got church people doing drag shows, having drag queens on their pulpits, when you have homosexual pastors, when you have all these crazy stuff happening in the church, and you got churches that are not preaching anything. I mean, a lot of black churches, they just leaping and jumping and shouting. They ain't saying nothing. So music,
Or speaking in tongues.
Speaking in tongue. We don't even know what that is. So all these extra stuff happening in the church. The world is looking at the church. Remember, Jesus says we are the light of the world. And I'm telling you, we need to call the church to repentance, because part of the reason why the world is in the condition that it is because they are learning behaviors from church folks. And I'm not talking about all Christians. I'm talking about the apostates. I'm talking about the tares. I'm talking about the ones who have the names of Christians, but they are living like the child of the devil. It's just happening. And for us to sit there and try to justify the church has nothing to do with this, think again. There's a teaching in the church, and I mentioned this before on my channel. It's called antinomianism. You need to look into that. Antinomianism, when you study what this is, it's an anti-law theology. The whole idea is talk about the love of God, the grace of God, the goodness of Jesus Christ, but don't call sinners to repentance. Don't uplift the 10 commandments. If you remove the 10 commandments, the only thing that is left is evil. Romans chapter 7 verse 7 says, where there is no law, there is no transgression. So in other words, if you remove the law, transgression is free. It's like the barriers are removed. The law can't save you. You and I know this. The law doesn't save anybody. We are not saved by the works of the law. We are saved by faith in Jesus Christ. But if you remove the law, what you end up doing, you remove the gates. Like, in other words, I live in the house, but the gates protect the enemies from coming in. The law of God is like a gate to the gospel. So as long as there are laws, you are protected from certain enemies from coming in. But if you remove the law, the door is left wide open. Anything can come in. And that's what happened there. That's exactly what happened there.
And not only that, but the other thing I think we also need to really take stock of is what's happening here in America. A good book I would suggest everybody get, if you can afford to do so, is The Naked Communist. It lays out the entire roadmap for everything that is currently happening in the U.S. It lays out all the steps.
Let me grab that for you.
Yep.
Yep.
There it is, The Naked Communist.
I'm on top of it, my friend. I'm on top of
it. This book,
I'm a reader. So.
It really delves into communist thinking and exposes everything that's been going on in the U.S. and how to subvert a country from within.
This is a book that every American
steps that it has to take.
Yeah,
and it shows how Christianity is really the antithesis of communism.
Yep. Communism, yep. It's actually you can't have communism as long as Christianity is upheld. So they dethrone Christianity. That's why in every communist country they always get rid of the Christian church. If they have a form of Christianity, it's always the false version. The other gospel is more like a Catholic version of Christianity. But the ones that is like rooted like the Protestant spirit, they had to get rid of it because it frees you from all that stuff. Anyway, let's bring this video to an end. There's a chapter in there, page 297, 47 goals of communist today. That's the chapter that will blow your mind. All of this is not happening by chance. It's all part of
No.
the plan.